12 years ago this week, Kenyon Martin of the Knicks contesting this jumper from KD. Look at the Christmas-themed kicks. My God, as a owner of Grinch shoes, I love every ounce of this. He spent 15 seasons in the NBA, first overall pick of the 2000 NBA draft. He's kind enough to spend a few minutes with us right now. Kenyon Martin, we really appreciate you being here. Let's start with those Knicks, all right? Last night, Brunson goes off, new career high at the Garden. What's it going to take in your mind for Jalen Brunson to become an MVP candidate?
Wow, that's a good question, man. Because you have guys like, first and foremost, thanks for having me. It's a good question. You got guys like Nikola playing the way he is and Shea playing the way he is. So I think he's gonna have to do this more consistent, and for the Knicks to win as well. I think they put themselves in a good spot winning the in-season tournament. But he's been making a name for himself the last couple of years. But to get in that MVP category. I think more team success and more of these kind of performances.
And the Knicks get another opportunity to get a win, especially when all eyes are on them on Christmas Day when they take on the Cavs. But we'll see the Christmas slate upcoming here. We get Knicks, Cavs, Spurs, Thunder. Looking at the slate and the schedule upcoming, what game do you think will be the most impactful on Christmas Day?
Most impactful, that 2:30 slot. I think Oklahoma City is looking for some get back with San Antonio, them ruining their in-season tournament chances. I'm looking at that game. And, of course, the late slot with Nikola and Cooper Flag is going to be a good bump. But I think Oklahoma City is looking for some get back in that San Antonio game. And that 12 o'clock Knicks Cavs game is always tough. that's a tough one. That's an early game on Christmas to get prepared for.
Man, you mentioned the Spurs. When you watch Wemby play, as somebody that played in the league, I mean, what do you see from Wemby?
An alien. Someone who can do things that no one else has done on this court before. He thinks like a guard, but he's in a 7'4", 7'5", 7'5" frame. So when you have someone that behaves his game that way, with that size and skill set, it makes for trouble every night. So game planning for him offensively and knowing where he is defensively makes for coaches to stay up all nights, I'm pretty sure.
Oh, I'm sure. I mean, you said he's an alien. He's unlike anything that we've ever seen before in this game. So I'll allow you to put your player cap back on. Let's just say you're lacing up your shoes to go face Wemby. How do you guard him?
It's got to you got to try to force him into shots that you want him to take. He will settle for a lot of jump shots. We know that because he believes in that skill set. He believes in his jump shot. So if you can get him shooting more 18, 19-foot jump shots and more threes and not plays around the basket, I think will benefit you. And the way I would play it, I would just got physical with him. I would have tried to frustrate him as much as possible, without crossing the line, of course, because he hasn't done anything to deserve me to cross the line with him. But just get as physical as possible with him and try to frustrate him. He's still young, still fragile mentally. So I think that would have been my approach. But good luck with that because his skill set is amazing.
All right, Kenyon. I was thinking of you this weekend because we knew we were going to have you on, and I watched Draymond get ejected this weekend. And I know you've gone on record. You've called Draymond a fake tough guy before. When you say fake tough guy, what do you mean by that?
Prime example. Someone who doesn't treat everyone the same, who's selective in their approach to who they want to play that way with. The physicality is a part of the game. We know that. But like I just stated before, when I feel my personal opinion, when you are selective and picking on guys that's half your size and knowing that those guys are not going to do anything back to you, that's probably, if you look in Webster, that's probably the definition of it.
So
just saying, like
Yeah, no, it's very fair. And it put me in that Warriors locker room because you've been there. You understand locker room and team dynamics. The extracurriculars, let's call it, that Draymond has had really over the last several years in a majority of his career. What effect does that have on the team and on the locker room?
At this point, I don't think it has any effect. If Game 5 of the finals, when he cost them a finals game against the Cavs, I think that if that didn't tell the team anything and the organization anything about the person, that he's not able to control it in that when it's on the biggest stages. At this point, there's nothing you can do nor say. It is what it is. The antics are what they are. Yeah, it's just who the person is and what the person is going to do. You can't you can't rule it out. Never at the biggest stages or the smallest stages. It's just when you can't control it. That's what it is, man. Like it's the locker room. I'm pretty sure Steph and Clay are the ones who's had to endure it the longest. So I believe they've become numb to it. It's like white noise at this point.
But so here's what's interesting to me though. Like the other side doesn't always feel like white noise, right? Because you've been loud in what you have to say for Draymond, understandably so. He responds, calls you an underachiever. I know it's gone back and forth. Are you surprised? Like for me, Draymond's playing right now. Like, is there some level? Why is your noise impacting him? Why is he even responding to stuff that isn't on the court with him right now?
Old saying, man, hit dogs will holler. I don't know if y'all understand that, but if you just let the dog lay there, he won't say anything. But if you hit a dog, he will scream. So, yeah, that's just what it is, man.
In the modern
What I
NBA, though,
said
it feels like
so what I said resonated. You know what I'm saying? I just feel what I said resonated because it came from a place from someone who did it as well.
do you feel like modern players now hear more outside noise than they did when you were playing?
Yeah, they're sensitive. Yeah, because it's when we didn't listen to other because you had to be directly in front of me to say things, and picking up the beat writer's newspaper was not the first thing that I did when I woke up in the morning. You know, me looking at the New York Post wasn't the first thing I did, or the Time, or anything. The Denver Post, when I played, it wasn't a thing. So I really didn't care what people had to say because I had a job to go do, and people's opinions of me didn't really matter because people didn't know me. So these days, and these athletes in the sports world, they're more sensitive because everybody has a platform to speak on things. And when you're not glazing these guys, then everything is negative when you are questioning certain things and certain aspects of today's athlete.
And
That was my
today's
that was my PC answer. That was my PC answer.
You were
If you
very,
guys
I'm
didn't
going to say
notice.
you were
You did a
very
very good
controlled and
job.
measured in what you said, Kenyon. I respect the hell out of it, man. That was well done by you.
You did a very good job. I don't know if you rehearsed that one or if you did that on the fly, but my kudos to you. We can't have you on here and not talk about LeBron. You actually share a birthday with LeBron, so happy belated birthday. How impressive is what we are seeing LeBron do at his age and with how long that he's been in the NBA?
Yeah, we do share birthdays coming up December 30th.
Oh, happy early birthday.
Him, myself, Tiger Woods, just a few of us. So
That's a
yeah,
good day.
December
Good
30th is a
day.
special day. Special day, right? Two former number one picks, the world's greatest golfer ever. Yeah. So but anything, man, that LeBron it will continue to do is the most impressive thing that you have seen outside of maybe what Tom Brady did, retiring and coming back and winning the Super Bowl. Um, yeah, I think this at this age, the way our sport is, the up and down, the grind that it takes to continue to do this. I think now he's showing his age more than ever. Missing a few games just missing a few games, little nicks and scrapes and things like that, which wouldn't have kept him out before. But if you look at the history of guys that's played 39, 40 years old, they were a shell of themselves. And for him to still be continue to put up the numbers that he is, Yeah, it's nothing short of impressive.
So stick there for a second because we always have this GOAT conversation, but we did the research. You played against LeBron, and obviously you played against Jordan.
Yeah.
So when I say GOAT to Kenyon Martin, who's the best player of all time?
Oh, Michael Jordan is my GOAT. That doesn't change. Like you said, I played against the Wizards, Jordan, and he still scored 40. So yeah. So to me, it's not a question. I grew up watching Mike. If you see on my left arm, I wore my left wristband on my arm for a reason. Michael Jordan did that throughout his career, so you can see that that was my paying homage to my GOAT.
So, if Michael Jordan is your GOAT, what can LeBron James do to change your mind?
Nothing. There's nothing. Take nothing off his plate. He's done everything that he possibly could do in the sport, right? Taking nothing off his plate. I will give him his flowers as well as praising my guy. I'm not taking anything off of LeBron's greatness, but it's just the way that I grew up watching the game and the person that I watched. It's hard for me to have a peer to say that somebody was the greatest that I played against. You know, that's kind of tough, but if it's kind of tough in their peak era. But no, take nothing off LeBron, man. I think if you really dive into it, it's more than a two-person conversation. If you really want to be honest about this, because you can't tell me that Kareem Luau-Sender doesn't belong in this conversation. You can't tell me that eventually Kobe Bryant and Steph Curry doesn't belong in this conversation. You know, so it just depends on who you ask. You know, but my personal preference is Michael Jeffrey Jordan.
Kenyon Martin, man, we really appreciate your time. Merry Christmas, happy holidays to you and your family. Really appreciate your insight on everything. Thanks for joining us, man. We appreciate you.